Have a guess what time it is? I know, it looks like morning, but it's not. It's midday. It's taken me this long to get out here today, but the goal is I just want to get one bed done a day until I get caught up on everything. So those two are done. That's done. That's got Chrissy's. I do need to tidy it up. This is done. This is done enough. I've got a piece of hair on my face and I can't find it. It's really annoying. Looking good. I've just got piles of rocks everywhere because as I weed, I'm sort of sifting that top layer again with my hands. How many rocks are in there, but just those few from the surface level, that was an entire bucket full. So next time it rains, I guess I'll pick up another bucket. There's two schools of thought that I'm aware of with mulching. One is, which is what I'm using, is it helps protect the soil, supposedly to reduce weeds, which I think it will. I'm pretty on top of this bed now. And it's like an insulation layer. So if it's really hot, it obviously helps the soil stay cool. In the winter, I mean, our winters aren't that cold compared to other parts in the world, but in theory, it would help keep the soil a little bit warmer, which I'm not too concerned about. The other school of thought is not mulching. And the reason being is it creates a habitat for pests. So the little slugs that we have everywhere are going to get down in that and hide under that during the day. So if you've just got bare soil, you can find them easily. They've got less places to hide. So that's the two theories. For years I haven't mulched, but it's just been such a big issue with all the weeds. And we had a really hot bit of summer, and the beds that I had mulched really helped. But coming into winter, I'm mulching this. I'm basically doing it as a test. The other thing is I'm using organic sugarcane mulch, which breaks down and does provide some nutrients for the soil. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't have an influx of slugs and problems with this bed after mulching. All done, it's looking beautiful. This end, I did pull it back a little bit because I've got the next succession of feverfew. I'm actually going to fill in this gap, fill up that end, and I've got a little patch over there. This succession of feverfew is going to be scattered around a little bit, and then I will start doing like the proper rows to keep it tidy. they're done. This is just a little section. I've got some carnations to trial, so I'll pop those in there. We've come for a drive and we're stopped in Shepparton. I come to Shepparton, I feel like, fairly regularly. There's a massive museum that's popped up. Apparently it's been here for 3 years. It's huge and it's beautiful and it's got really nice gardens. I thought I'd just show you really quickly. That's the back of the museum. And look, these are just all water wise gardens, but the bit I want to show you, hello, is, look at this cool edging. It's just rebar that's been bent. It looks really cute. It's just to keep people off the garden edging. But then we've got all the rocks. I mean, this is a pretty familiar looking way to do a garden in Australia. But the tree stumps, the big rocks, the mulch, and it kind of, the gum leaves just sort of disappear into it. It's just kind of pointed out to us. We have a lot of resources at home already. I'm carrying this because I just met a lady off Marketplace. And it's, look, it's another one of those nice white quilted quilts because Malia wants it for her bed. Very cool, like all the natives. This is going to look amazing when they get really big because they can get very, very big. That will look really good.
I don't want to get sand in the car.
We're in Bendigo. We're supposed to be eating food over there somewhere. But look what we found. Those beautiful doors, aren't they beautiful? This is wooden and it's lovely. Wow! It's an installation, it's all in pots. Let's see in there.
Oh, look, from
Oh, beautiful. They're so poisonous though.
Yeah, for Funjo.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
I would love one of these buildings, Myanmar. Look at it.
Yeah.
We could just live in here, like put our lounge room in here. Cosmos. Hopefully I can grow it next year. Well, this was fun. Anyway, we need to go eat. To buy flowers for the first time in ages. I'll show you what I got. My favourites, ornamental kale. I couldn't get the pink centre, which I really like. I got a couple of different Chrissies, some snaps, some Lizzies, and some goldenrod. And now I'm just gonna prep these flowers and store them. So what I do is I'll strip all the leaves, not all the leaves, sorry, like 2/3 to 3/4 of the stem of leaves, snip the ends, and then I put them in fresh buckets with clean water and the Professional 2 from Crystal. I'm going to do that, and then I need to make an order up for a delivery. Look at the length of these stems. They're so long. I'm actually going out into the fields soon and I'm going to start taking leaves off our kale. stems of Lisianthus this time. I'm guessing because they're pretty bulky stems, but it does make the per stem count more expensive, so I can't, you know, it changes the way you make a bouquet now. If I had to choose between stock or snaps, I'd choose stock. I find snaps so fragile. So we'll see how these go. Just for those who don't know, snapdragons are phototropic, which means if I put them in a bucket next to a door or a window, they're going to want to lean sideways and it's going to bend their stems. You can see these ones are a bit bendy already. So a couple of ways around that is sometimes I'll wrap them in a tall piece of card, like brown paper, and up so that their tips can't sort of get the sunlight from the sides. They've got to go up to get the light. You can also leave a light on directly over their head or store them in the complete dark. So that's your ways of keeping them straight, but you do need to watch it. Last one for today is goldenrod, and I've never worked with this before, so I'm gonna give it a go. So I've got 8 stems that are long enough, 3 pretty small ones. Just check my invoice of what everything costs. You've already seen it pop up on the screen. But just in my head, then what I'll do is I'll kind of put a price per stem. So as I'm making a bouquet, I'm costing it out in my head. And I'm already very familiar with the pricing. So for me, it's not hard to remember. But there are a few changes. So a few things have gone up in price. Christie's have actually gone up in price, which is a pain in the butt coming up to Mother's Day because we're going to have to pay way more for them now. Well, not way more, but let's say they were around $2 a stem. Now it's about $2.50 a stem. So it's not a massive difference, but it does make a difference, and you do have to factor that in. The kale heads, $4 each. $4.50 each. Each snap is $2. It's more around the $1.50 mark. It's sort of between $1.50 $2. Goldenrod, $1 a stem. The Lizzie's are very expensive, $4 a stem, wholesale. Normally there'd be 5 stems in a bunch and it'd bring it down to $3 a stem, but there was only 4 stems. Some of these stems I'll be able to break apart and cut them down a bit. So you've just got to sort of work that out as you go. I need to go outside, grab a bit of foliage, and then I'm going to come in and make this arrangement up. Got some foliage, and I've also picked some dahlias. So we're going pink today. These ones may still bend over because the light source is over here. They're good to stay there. I'll clean up the floor. It's a pretty nice day. I'm looking for a bucket, even though there's heaps there. I'm looking for a clean bucket. Let's just say I'm not so good at keeping on top of the bucket washing. I have like over 100 buckets. And it just leads to bad habits because I always think, oh, well, I've got more buckets. So I just keep getting clean ones, which is what I'm doing right now. You want to see these? See how they, well, this one's decided to play up, but keeps them up. Okay, so what we're doing now is I've got an order for 6 of these. I've got to do a large arrangement and I've got to do flowers for the servo. There's a bit of stuff to do right now and I've got to go pick everything. I'm getting sick of washing buckets. And I need a lot of flowers today. I usually work in the mornings, but right now it's the afternoon. Like it's around lunchtime. Where are my gloves? My clean ones. I don't have my tripod. So, I don't know how I'm going to film this. Prepare to be stunned and amazed about how all the flowers are now in the bucket. So this is about all I could get. I'll do an end of season farm tour very soon, maybe in a couple of videos. This is how we're looking. It's getting a bit tired. I just want to do a couple more things to tidy up before I walk you through. Everything really is slowing down, which is a bit sad, but at the same time I'm kind of excited for a break. Actually got a lot of flowers, it turns out. Dahlias and a few other things, some eucalyptus, marigolds and just some random things. I've actually got a couple of snaps in there. I'll show you when I bring them out. The stuff I bought yesterday, except I stuffed some dahlias in there. Kale. And there's my Lizzies. So let's get making. I get asked about these vases all the time. They're called mod vases. I'm going to see if I can buy a bulk amount and put them on the website so that those of you who just want to buy a few of them can, because the problem with buying them from APAC, which is the wholesaler, you have to buy in bulk and you have to pay a courier fee. And I think the minimum's $20 or $30. So it ends up making them very expensive if you only want to get a few to trial them. So I'm working on it. Here's how you put it together. It's actually got instructions on it. So you just open it out, push down tab number 1, push the second tabs, third tab, fourth, pop it in there, push it out. It's stuck a bit. And that's it. And then you just fold in each little side tab. Just got to make sure when you do this bit that you get all the tabs. You don't want any poking out. Make sure they're all in. There's one trying to get out there. Got them all. Don't pull it too tight, it'll cut through the cardboard. I double or triple knot this to hold it in place and then I'll cut that string off. Liner goes in and you fold it over the edges so you don't get the cardboard wet while you're filling it with water or placing the stems in. You then tuck that in. Well, you don't have to, but I tuck it back in around the stems once I'm done. I'll fill it up just to where that, where it goes in. So I'll always put flower food in it. I'll assume we're using it like a vase. I'll assume that the flowers are being left in here. With kale, you can, so like the way you would reflex a rose, you can reflex the petals on kale and they're way easier. And you don't have to warm them. Not like you don't have to bring it to room temp. You can do them at any temperature. Ornamental kale is really just one of my most favorites. I love it. The thing is the petals are a bit crunchy, so just be careful you don't snap them while you're doing it. I'm putting 3 big heads in here. This is a big order. So I've got 3. Put some foliage in behind. Oh, it's getting really hard to hold. Oh, it gets to the point where bouquets are just so hard to hold. the stems as you put them in, and try and guide them in so that they don't, like if there's anything really pokey, it doesn't break that liner. Tuck the edges. Ribbons. Stickers. I didn't show you these, but basically it's just a little bouquet in a jar. The idea is to use short stems and broken off stems and things that you can't otherwise use in arrangements or bouquets. Today I just needed to get it done, so it's little bits and pieces of, there's my snap that I grew. I just remembered first I need to take a photo of them. Are done. I've got to say I'm pretty chuffed. Looks so good. Now I need to do some bouquets for the servo. Everything's ready. Alright, I'm gonna go do these deliveries now. I'm filming a delivery video of how I do deliveries. So that'll be coming up or is already up.